On August 2nd, 1989, I experienced one of the most incredible events I could ever imagine. I was never a believer in aliens or other extraterrestrial beings. I had never seen them, so they didn't interest me much. However, I knew there was something out there in the vastness of space surrounding us. For a while, we've been saying, we are not alone. That August 2 is now 30 years in the past, and I have never witnessed anything like it since. I have chosen to share this story only now because I always feared how people would react if I spoke or wrote about this experience. I decided to keep it to myself, and perhaps that was for the best. Nevertheless, here I am now, sharing it. That evening, what really happened, whether I saw an alien or it chose to reveal itself to me, I will never know. What I do know is that I remember that event as if it happened an instant ago. In 1989, I was 28 years old, and I was vacationing alone on Tenerife, one of the Canary Islands near Spain. I needed some time in solitude to relax, away from the troubles and exhaustion of my daily life. On the evening of August 2nd, I decided to rent a small boat for a tranquil evening ride along the coast, with the intention of admiring the other surrounding islands. The evening was proceeding beautifully, and paradise was unveiling itself before my eyes. I prepared a couple of drinks and enjoyed them on the boat, completely relaxed and carefree, with no thoughts of the exhausting workdays I had left behind. However, the problem arose at the end of the evening when I started drinking excessively without realizing it. At that time, I was young, and sometimes I indulged myself. Suddenly, I found myself asleep on the boat. In the dim light, I regained consciousness when I noticed a light in front of me, blurred but intense enough to illuminate my boat. My head was throbbing from alcohol, and my stomach was rebelling. I tried to open my eyes and realized I had fallen asleep on the boat. The light seemed to be coming from above, but it was too warm and pink to be the moon. I started to regain my senses and become aware of the situation. The light seemed almost like a sunset, with shades of purple and pink, a true spectacle of nature, or at least that's what I would have called it if I were in Scandinavia observing the northern lights. I struggled to get up and check the time. It was 2 in the morning. I had no idea where I was. I couldn't see any other lights or the mainland. Fear began to creep in as I imagined spending the entire night at sea, or perhaps even longer if I couldn't find my way back to the islands. I decided to focus on the strange pink light that surrounded me. Examining it closely, I realized it was emanating from the water, although it appeared to be coming from above. I leaned in for a closer look, and it seemed like a submerged beacon, a kind of geometric shape with a light above it. I needed to take action and do something. I started the boat's engine and began heading north, hoping my compass was accurately calibrated. Then, I noticed the light beginning to move and follow me. It stayed under my boat. At some point, I heard a loud noise coming from the hull, and I fell over. I was terrified and tried to get up, but I didn't have the strength to stay on my feet. Then, I saw something emerging from the water. It was a dark figure, water sliding off its body. It seemed to be a circular, compact body with tentacles extending in all directions and eyes fixed on me. This alien creature remained still, then moved closer and seized me with its tentacles, pinning me to the ground, preventing me from moving. I screamed, desperately trying to free myself from its relentless grip. One of the tentacles started tightening around my stomach, while another constricted my diaphragm, making it hard to breathe. I couldn't make a sound. Then, the alien opened its mouth, and I saw a bright light inside, a powerful wind sucking the air out of my body. It was as if it were siphoning the air from my lungs, drawing it up through my trachea and out of my mouth. I began to lose feeling in my feet, then my legs, and eventually my entire body. The alien was slowly draining me of my soul, my life force. I was fading away. The light grew brighter and completely blinded me, passing through my mind. Then, darkness. I woke up in a hospital, realizing I had been found adrift at sea. I asked a doctor for explanations, and they suggested that someone had perhaps attempted to drown me in the water. You can imagine their reaction when I tried to share what I remembered. Weeks passed, but the investigations led to nothing. No one had been on my boat that night, and there was no trace of anything in the sea. Years went by, but I was never the same. I met a wonderful woman who became my wife, and now we have 2 children. I'm happy, but I will never forget that night. Since then, I haven't touched alcohol, and I haven't set foot on a boat. Lately, however, something strange has been happening. I feel that one day it might come to take me. I have strange dreams and visions. The other day, I saw a bright light outside my window, and I felt a shiver down my spine, but then it disappeared. Perhaps it's searching for me. Maybe it has always been searching for me. That's why I've seen so many luminous sunsets. Perhaps it was there all along.